Oh, the horror of adulting. One morning you reach for your beloved cup of coffee, only to discover that the universe, also known as your own bank account, has canceled it without warning. Meet Alex, a perfectly normal human who thought they had personal finance under control until the great coffee crisis of this month hit. It all started with a casual glance at their bank app, a moment of truth where numbers danced on the screen like they were mocking Alex personally. Apparently, impulsive online shopping, late-night food deliveries, and the tragic habit of buying every gadget marketed as life-changing had quietly built up into a financial iceberg, big enough to sink their caffeine dreams. Alex tried to console themselves with the noble thought, maybe I can brew coffee at home, but one sip revealed the bitter truth. The fancy beans had been sacrificed to pay the credit card minimum, leaving only the cheap instant stuff that tastes like sadness mixed with water. The microwave beeped in mockery. The apartment smelled faintly of regret, and every time Alex reached for a snack, their fridge seemed to whisper, "Your budget says no." The side hustle. Sure, it was going great. In theory, in reality, late nights spent editing videos and selling handmade crafts barely covered the cost of shipping supplies. Not to mention the emotional toll of trying to convince strangers on Etsy that yes, this is the art they've been missing in their life. Every spreadsheet Alex attempted to make for budgeting ended up looking like abstract art, full of red numbers and angry scribbles, while the couch beckoned with Netflix, mocking their failed attempts at financial discipline. Fast forward a week, and Alex had mastered the dark arts of coupon stacking, discount hunting, and negotiating bills like a corporate spy, all to prevent further coffee casualties. They had become hyper-aware of every sound in their apartment, the drip of the leaky faucet like a countdown timer on their remaining funds, the hum of the fridge as a cruel reminder of groceries they couldn't afford, the notification ping from the bank app that delivered micro-heart attacks with every balance update. Friends suggested getting a latte out, but Alex politely declined, pointing out that a $5 coffee was now equivalent to a small utility bill and an existential crisis combined. By the time rent day came, Alex had achieved Zen-like acceptance that adulting was less about living comfortably and more about surviving with dignity, caffeine or not. And yet, through all the absurdity, frustration, and sensory assault of financial reality, a lesson quietly emerged. Budgeting isn't just about restricting fun. It's about making choices so you don't cry into instant coffee every morning. Now, let's break down what Alex's tragedy teaches about money in a way that's oddly fun. Personal finance isn't rocket science. It's a series of simple principles dressed in terrifying spreadsheets. Budgeting is really just asking yourself, what's important and what can I survive without? Imagine a chart with income on the left and expenses on the right. Every unnecessary subscription, impulsive snack, or extra gadget is a tiny leak in your financial ship. Alex's coffee habit was that tiny leak, which grew over time into a full-blown caffeine famine. Debt works the same way. It compounds quietly, like a villain in a horror movie, until you wake up one day realizing your credit card balance has become a creature that eats your soul and your savings. Investments, on the other hand, are like planting magic beans. You nurture them, give them time, and maybe someday they grow into something useful. Unlike the decorative candles Alex impulsively bought last month, cash flow is your lifeline, showing where money comes and goes, and visualizing it with simple bars or graphs in AI tools makes it way easier to understand than staring at a sea of numbers that feel like they're judging you. And yes, saving doesn't have to be miserable. You can use little hacks like automated transfers, cash envelopes, or even gamifying your financial goals, turning your survival story into a challenge that's almost fun. So, if you've ever stared at your own canceled coffee with a sense of betrayal, remember Alex's saga. Adulting is messy, money mistakes are hilarious in retrospect, and survival is an art form. Laugh at the absurdity, learn the lesson, and maybe stash a packet of instant coffee, just in case. And hey, if you're enjoying this painfully relatable financial journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Control-Alt-Succeed, because we're here to help you navigate adulting with sarcasm, wit, and maybe a little caffeine along the way.